Hey guys, so today I've got a little bit of a short video. Yeah, not quite as long as the other ones. Um, but yeah, so I dug this old drawing out of a folder for a project that I've been working on for actually a really long time now. It's a little bit sad, but I have so many projects going on at the same time that I just don't always have the time I want to put into this. It's more of a kind of side project to, keep me going between other things. But basically, this is a character from a webcomic that I've been storyboarding for too long. Um, but yeah, so I thought it'd be a good time to go in and do a bit of a better version of this drawing. I originally drew it to be kind of like a sort of character reference. Like, this is kind of what he looks like, normally what he wears. And also to practice, people just kind of standing. Just drawing normal people standing can be really difficult, just to even make it look natural. And you kind of got to work on, every part of anatomy of the body all at once, because you're drawing the character from head to toe, so you kind of got to put it all in there. So as you can see, the drawing on the left is pretty stiff. Doesn't really look quite right. I mean, the proportions look okay, but there's definitely some stuff in there that's missing. So I did a little thumbnail first. I often find it really easy, or not really easy, easier to draw a pose really small, because you don't have to worry about all the details of the anatomy. It takes less time to do a little thumbnail because of how small it is, and then it's really easy to pick out things that are not the right size, or the right length, or the right width, or anything. It's really easy to fix. And then once I get the right pose, I like to blow it up and then draw over top of it. Sometimes I don't always do that, but today I did a little bit. So yeah, I'm not really gonna change anything about the design. I just really want to make a better drawing. Kind of fix up some of the anatomy issues. Just make the pose look a little bit more natural. Even though he's standing, he doesn't have to be like totally stiff and all the lines be straight and all that. So when you're drawing someone standing, you can still put like motion lines and stuff in there. I find that often really helps me, even just to kind of organize the pose that I want to do. Is just draw the main body and then just draw some motion lines through it so I can kind of see how I want him to be standing. Because you can tell a lot about a person by the way they stand. With one hip sort of popped out, or his legs really close together, or they kind of spread apart a little bit. Obviously, I'm not the master of capturing all that type of stuff, so by no means am I amazing at this in any way, but I kind of wanted him to be standing pretty alert, because he's a cop, so he's kind of ready to go at all times. He's a pretty serious character. His legs are a little spread there. And I wanted him to be holding his sunglasses, though I don't recommend that you hold your sunglasses by the lenses. It'll make them all smudgy. Yeah. So I've got his arm kind of down at his side, his other arm, and you'll notice when I move the screen back up again that his shoulders are pretty far away out. That's something that tends to happen when I draw. The one shoulder will be like a really long way out, and it just looks odd. I'll select that and move it in a second. Yeah. But I'll probably... The other stuff that I intend to fix will be colors. Like when I start doing colors, you'll see that they're kind of saturated. I mean, they're not like clashing. The colors aren't clashing. They don't look bad together. They just don't look as good as they could. They just look a little... Yeah, there's his arm a little bit... There we go. I popped it back in. Yeah, but anyway, you'll see that the colors don't look quite... They just don't work together as well as they could, and I intend to fix that. So usually when I draw a line art and draw inside of it, or color inside of it, I usually draw slightly neater lines than this, even for a sketch, but I didn't... They're pretty rough on the outsides. There's lots of stray lines. So I thought I would color it in this way instead. I'm just using a selection pen and just drawing in all the places that I want to be colored in. It can take a bit of time. I mean, not a huge amount. Yeah, so I'll just select up all of this, and then I'll just fill it with a base color. I'm not going to really worry too much about layers, because this is just really meant to be a quick drawing, so you can see kind of his features and the color of his clothing and stuff. It's not meant to be a totally, like, perfect finished drawing. I will probably do a bit of shading, though, just, you know, with shadows and whatnot, because it's a pretty simple drawing, and, you know, it's always good to practice with that type of thing. Lighting can really bring a drawing to life, and it's really fun to just layer shadows and light over something and just kind of watch it pull out of the page. It's really fun. That's what I live for. Yeah, so I'm just getting a few of the bits I missed, just selecting them and then filling them. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so I saw another artist do this and I thought it was a really good idea, but to not paint right over white, or don't use a white background. Just because it can be hard to pick good colors sometimes. It can kind of distort your eye. Something like that anyway. So I tend to start with a sort of gray-green, just really pale, because typically, you know, I pick a color that will work well with the other colors. Like I wouldn't pick like a pink, or maybe pink would work, but excuse me. Yeah, maybe pink would work, and you know, a green works good because it kind of contrasts the, you know, the pinky red sort of his skin. Yeah, so you can see that I'm still using the same colors here as his original design. I'm just making them a little bit more gray. Like the black of his shirt, I mean, even in the original it wasn't full black, it was still gray, but I've just made it even more gray. I've kind of lightened a lot of stuff. Yeah, I think I lightened everything, except for his hair. His skin's maybe a little darker, too. But anyway, I've kind of lightened and grayed everything. It just makes the colors they just look so much better together. You can, if I zoom out here, you can see that they, you know, the one on the right definitely looks a lot better. You know, aside from the pose is better, but the colors just look better. As his tattoos. That's another thing I'm gonna have to do with his design later, is design him some proper tattoos. I kind of drew those like really quick just to remember that he has them. I didn't do a full tattoo design. That's not really my my area of expertise, tattoos, but I do want to get one. That would be awesome. A sleeve tattoo would be really cool. I don't think I would ever do that, but it would be pretty awesome. It would probably have a dragon in it though, for sure. Yeah. So this character does have full sleeve tattoos on both his arms. I'm just gonna fill in the space a little bit here. Nothing super interesting, just enough so that you know that he's, you know, he's seriously inked, man. Yeah, and then I realized as I was drawing that I'd forgotten a couple of details. I forgot to give him his special punchin' gloves. Super cool. And I forgot to give him his little tool belt stuff there. Yeah, so to draw him a little gun. I always do this. Anytime I ever draw a character with a gun, I always draw the handle the wrong way around first. Every single time. I don't know why. Well, maybe because I don't have a gun. That might be the reason. Yeah, I don't know what he puts in his little pouch there, but he has a little pocket. Yeah, there we go. I'm just gonna fill that in and add it. Yeah, and then just color over it. There we go. Yeah, so that's, you know, pretty much it for the coloring. I guess I have to do his gloves too. But yeah, so he looks a lot better than the original. Like I've said it before, I really enjoy doing this type of thing just to see how, art that I was really happy with. I do remember drawing that original drawing though, and sort of, realizing that it looked a bit stiff, didn't really look quite right. People standing, well, actually, you know what, I'm not even gonna lie, poses in general can be quite difficult, but just, making a character stand and look natural has only recently started to, become a bit easier. I guess it's, once you find the right technique, that's really helpful. Learn a little bit about anatomy, that helps as well. I don't know as much about anatomy as I probably should. A lot of the stuff that I do is kind of, yeah, well, that looks right, and I've seen this kind of drawn this way before by someone who does understand anatomy, and I just kind of borrow some of that knowledge, but I really should spend more time learning it. I'm just so busy. But no, in my free time, I, make an effort to learn a little bit here and there. Yeah, so I'm just going to do the shadow kind of up in the top left corner. So it'll kind of be pushing down on his face, the top corner of his head there. So I'll kind of keep the angles of all the shadows the same, of all the cast shadows. So you see the angle of the shadow cast from his chin and his jaw there. I'm going to try and keep that angle the same throughout the picture. So you can see that he really tapers. The standing pose on the right compared to the left, he's quite broad in the shoulders, and the drawing really tapers down to his feet. He looks more triangular, he looks a lot more muscular, just more impressive in general. Yeah, so the final drawing, clearly a lot better. So that's about it, and thanks for watching. Bye!